You should be fine with this. My ex and I have history, she said after inviting him to her birthday dinner. I stayed polite, finished my drink, and walked out. Now he exposed their affair. Her family disowned her lies, and she wants me back. Hey viewers, before we move on to the video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button if you want to see more stories like this. Thanks. Throwaway account because, well, you'll see why. This all went down about a year ago, but the echoes are still rippling through my life. And hers, I suppose. I'm posting this because I need to get it out. If you're reading this for the drama, buckle up. If you're in a similar spot, maybe it'll help you see that sometimes walking away quietly is the loudest move you can make. Let me start from the beginning. My name's Alex, mid-30s, project manager at a mid-sized tech firm. Nothing flashy, but it's stable, and I've always prided myself on being the reliable guy. The one who shows up, follows through, and doesn't make a fuss. That's how I approached my relationship with Sarah. We'd been together for over 3 years, living in a cozy apartment in the city. I met her through mutual friends at a barbecue. She was this vibrant, outgoing type, always the center of attention with her quick laugh and stories that could charm a room. Me? I'm more the listener, the planner. It worked, or so I thought. From the start, I was all in. Sarah had gone through a rough patch before we met. Lost her job in marketing during the pandemic. Dealt with some family drama involving her parents' messy divorce. I was there for all of it. Picked up extra freelance gigs to cover rent when she was between jobs. Listened for hours as she vented about her mom's endless guilt trips or her dad's absenteeism. I even helped her rebuild her resume and network, which landed her a solid role at an ad agency. We traveled when we could. Weekend getaways to the coast. A trip to Europe she always dreamed of. I footed most of it because I wanted her happy. Sacrificed my own hobbies, like my weekend hikes or gaming nights with buddies, to make time for her social circle. Her friends became mine. Her family tolerated me, though they were always a bit off. Pushy, opinionated types who treated relationships like transactions. But looking back, there were cracks. Sarah had this habit of bringing up her ex, Jake, in casual conversations. Oh, Jake and I used to love that restaurant. Or, Jake was always so spontaneous. I'd brush it off. History is history, right? She assured me they were just friends now, occasional texts about mutual acquaintances. I trusted her. Why wouldn't I? I wasn't the jealous type. But over time, it felt like emotional abandonment. She'd pull away during tough weeks at work, scrolling through old photos or liking his posts online. I'd feel like a backup plan, the safe choice while she reminisced about the excitement of her past. Still, I stayed committed. Planned surprises, like cooking her favorite meals after long days or surprising her with tickets to shows. I thought that's what loyalty looked like. Her birthday was coming up, and she wanted a nice dinner out. Nothing huge, just us and a couple of close friends at this upscale Italian spot downtown. I booked it, got her a thoughtful gift, a custom necklace with coordinates from our first trip together. Sentimental? Yeah, but that's me. The day of, she seemed off, distracted, checking her phone more than usual. We got to the restaurant, ordered drinks, and that's when the first red flag hit. Our friends were late, she said, but then the door opens, and in walks Jake, grinning like he owns the place, carrying a bottle of wine. Sarah lights up, hugs him tight, too tight, and turns to me with this casual smile. Surprise. I invited Jake. You should be fine with this. My ex and I have history, you know? It's just dinner, Alex. Don't make it weird. I froze, glass halfway to my lips. The table went quiet for a beat, but Sarah just laughed it off, like it was some inside joke. Jake slid into the seat across from me, all charisma and cologne, clapping me on the shoulder like we were old pals. Hey man, good to finally meet you properly. Sarah's told me a lot about you. Our friends arrived shortly after. Turns out, they were in on it, or at least not surprised. The evening dragged on like a bad dream. Sarah and Jake dominated the conversation, reminiscing about old trips, inside jokes from years ago. She'd touch his arm, lean in too close. Every time I try to steer things back, ask about her work or our plans, she'd brush me off with a smirk. Oh, Alex, always so serious. Lighten up. History doesn't just disappear because you're here now. I sat there, stomach twisting, piecing it together. This wasn't just a friendly invite. The way she justified it, twisting logic like a pretzel. We've known each other forever. You're secure enough to handle this, right? If you can't, that's on you being insecure. Smug, dismissive, like my feelings were an inconvenience. Jake chimed in too, all faux sympathy. Yeah, bro, no big deal. We're all adults here. It felt outrageous. Here I was, the guy who'd been her rock, celebrating her birthday, and she'd orchestrated this humiliation. Publicly, no less, with witnesses. I didn't yell or cause a scene. That's not me. I stayed polite, nodded through the appetizers, forced a smile during the toasts. But inside, gutted, confused why she'd do this after everything I'd given. When the mains arrived, I excused myself to the bathroom, splashed water on my face, and stared at my reflection. This wasn't love. This was betrayal, wrapped in history. Back at the table, Sarah was laughing at something Jake said, her hand on his knee under the table. I caught it. That was it. I finished my drink in one slow sip, set the glass down carefully. I'm heading out, I said quietly, standing up. No drama, no accusations. Just calm. Sarah blinked, her smugness cracking for a second. What? Alex, sit down. You're overreacting. It's my birthday, don't ruin it. I won't, I replied evenly. Enjoy the rest of your night. I nodded to the group, left cash for my share on the table, and walked out into the cool evening air. The door swung shut behind me, and that was that. No looking back. I got home to our apartment, technically still ours, and packed a bag. Essentials only, clothes, laptop, a few books. Left the necklace on the counter with a note, happy birthday. Then I crashed at a buddy's place across town. Blocked her number temporarily, just to think. No confrontation, no begging for explanations. I detached. Disappeared from her life that night. The next few days were a blur of silence and confusion. Sarah blew up my phone at first, texts ranging from annoyed to accusatory. Where are you? This is ridiculous. Then calls I let go to voicemail. Come on, Alex, it was just dinner. You're acting like a child. I didn't respond. What was there to say? She'd made her choice clear, cruelly, in front of everyone. I sat with it, the unfairness of it all. How I'd poured myself into us, only to be treated like an afterthought. Nights were rough. I'd replay the dinner in my head, questioning if I'd missed signs. The constant mentions, her pulling away emotionally. It hurt, deep, like a slow burn. But I didn't lash out. Instead, I focused on me. Work became my anchor. I threw myself into a big project, earning praise from my boss, and even a small promotion. More responsibility, better pay. Started hitting the gym again, something I'd neglected for her social calendar. Reconnected with old friends who'd faded during the relationship. One weekend, I went on a solo hike, the kind I used to love. Breathing in the fresh air, I felt the confusion start to lift. Why chase someone who discards you so easily? I unblocked her after a week, but only to handle logistics, splitting bills, getting my stuff. Her messages had shifted by then. We need to talk. This isn't over. But it was, for me. I moved into a small studio downtown, nothing fancy, but mine. No more walking on eggshells. The silence from my end must have driven her crazy, because her attempts ramped up. Friends, hers mostly, started reaching out. Dude, she's upset. Give her a chance to explain. Her family too, those toxic enablers. Her mom called once. Sarah says you overreacted. Family history matters. You can't just walk away. Unpleasant, pushy like always. I kept responses minimal. It's done. No emotional outbursts. Just dignity. In the quiet, I processed the betrayal fully. The manipulation, inviting him to rub it in my face, then gaslighting me as insecure. It was undeserved. I'd been loyal to a fault. But sitting with it, I realized it wasn't about me. Her issues, her choices. I started journaling, weird as that sounds, to track my thoughts. From vulnerable rants about the pain to clearer entries. I'm free now. Therapy helped too. A few sessions to unpack the emotional abandonment. Slowly, the arc shifted. I wasn't confused anymore. I was clear, ready for whatever came next, but on my terms. Months passed like that, me building a new routine, her fading into irrelevance. Until karma decided to step in, but that's for later. For now, if you're in the thick of something similar, know this. Sometimes, walking away is the start of everything getting better. That's when things started unraveling for Sarah, hard and fast, like a house of cards in a storm. I didn't seek it out. I wasn't stalking her socials or pumping mutual friends for info. But word gets around, especially in our overlapping circles. About a month after the dinner, I got a cryptic text from one of her coworkers, someone I'd met at a company holiday party. "Hey Alex, thought you should know. Jake's been posting some wild stuff online. Check it out if you care." I didn't at first. Why poke the wound? But curiosity won, and I pulled up his profile. Turns out, Sarah and Jake's history wasn't just nostalgia, it was a full-blown affair. Had been for months, apparently. Jake, in a fit of rage, aired it all out in a series of unhinged posts. Screenshots of their texts, flirty messages dating back to before our Europe trip, plans to meet up behind my back. One even referenced the birthday dinner. "Can't wait to see his face when I show up. This'll be epic." Sarah's replies were damning, dismissive of me, calling me predictable and the safe guy until something better. Jake painted her as the instigator, but then twisted the knife. He'd used her, strung her along with promises of rekindling their old flame, only to ghost her when she pushed for commitment. He called her clingy and delusional, exposing her as manipulative. The posts went viral in our local scene. Friends shared them, commenters piled on. The fallout was swift. Sarah's family, those same pushy types who'd backed her play, turned on her when the lies came out. She'd told them I was the problem, jealous, controlling, overreacting to just a friend. But Jake's expose included messages where she admitted fabricating stories to them. "Mom, if Alex calls, say I'm out with you. Cover for me." Her parents disowned the deception, cut her off financially. They'd been helping with her rent sporadically. Her sister, always the dramatic one, posted a public call-out. "Blood doesn't excuse betrayal. Done enabling." Sarah's job took a hit too. The ad agency frowned on the drama spilling into professional networks. Clients pulled back, and she got restructured, out. Fancy talk for fired. Suddenly, she was isolated, scrambling for freelance gigs that barely covered bills. Broke, reputation in tatters, friends ghosting her left and right. I watched from afar, not with glee, but a quiet sense of justice. It felt earned, ironic. Her history boomeranged back to bite her. The woman who'd humiliated me publicly was now the one exposed, unraveling in the spotlight she'd craved. Mutual friends started siding with me, apologizing for not seeing it sooner. "We thought it was innocent," one said. "But damn, she played us all." I didn't gloat, just nodded and moved on. Karma didn't need my help. Her attempts to crawl back started subtle, then snowballed into desperation. First, a text about 2 months post-dinner. "Alex, can we talk? I messed up big time. Jake was a mistake. I see that now." I read it, felt nothing but a faint echo of the old hurt. No reply. Then calls, voicemails at first, her voice shaky. "Please pick up. I didn't mean for it to go like this. We had something real, didn't we?" History like ours doesn't just vanish. When silence met her, she escalated. Showed up at my new studio one evening, banging on the door. I opened it halfway, expression neutral. She looked rough, hair messy, eyes red from crying. "Alex, let me in. We need to fix this." "Fix what, Sarah?" I asked calmly, arms crossed. She paced the hallway, words tumbling out. "Everything. Jake. He was abusive, unstable. Manipulated me with our past. I was stupid, okay? But you were always there. Loyal. I took that for granted. Please, give me another chance. I'll cut him off. Therapy, whatever it takes." Her hypocrisy hung in the air. The same woman who'd justified her betrayal with history now begged using our shared past. I didn't bite. "You made your choices," I said evenly. "So did I." She got teary, manipulative edge creeping in. "Don't be like this. Think about what we built. Your note on my birthday, that necklace. It meant something." "It did." I agreed, unflinching. Past tense. She left frustrated, but that wasn't the end. Her friends and family piled on, toxic as ever. First, a call from her best friend, Mia. "Alex, she's falling apart. You can't just ignore her. She's sorry. For old time's sake, hear her out." Unpleasant, guilting tone, like I owed them. I hung up mid-sentence. Then her mom, voicemail dripping with disapproval. "This is ridiculous. Sarah's learned her lesson. Family sticks together. Don't be petty. Call her back." The attempts grew desperate. Texts at odd hours. I can't sleep thinking about us. Please, Alex, I need you. Then showing up at my work lobby, waiting with coffee like some rom-com gesture. Security had to escort her out. Why are you doing this? She shouted as they led her away. I said, I'm sorry. You're being cruel. That's when the anger surfaced, her true colors bleeding through. After another ignored call, a barrage of messages. Fine, be a coward. You were always too safe, too boring. That's why I needed Jake. But now look at you, hiding. Pathetic. It was a power play, trying to provoke a reaction. I blocked her fully then, no more access. Her family doubled down, unpleasant interventions. Her dad emailed. Son, we've known you for years. Sarah's in a bad spot. Lost her job, family's mad. Step up like a man. Condescending, like I was the villain. Her sister cornered me at a coffee shop once. You're heartless. She cries every night. Fix this mess you started by walking out. Toxic, blaming me for her consequences. I stayed composed through it all. No sympathy, no engagement. Their desperation only highlighted how far I'd come, building a life without her chaos. The final nail came at our mutual friend Tom's wedding, 6 months after the dinner. I'd RSVP'd yes long before. Sarah too, but I figured she'd skip. Nope, she showed, dressed to impress, cornering me during cocktail hour. I was chatting with old buddies, feeling good in my new suit. Gym gains showing, promotion vibe strong. She'd heard through the grapevine I was thriving. Dating casually, traveling solo, even started a side hustle consulting. Alex, she said, voice low, eyes pleading. We need to talk. Privately. I glanced at her, detached. She looked diminished, forced smile, shadows under her eyes from the stress. The room buzzed around us, guests laughing, music playing. Perfect contrast, her desperation on display, my calm indifference. Fine, I said, stepping to a quiet corner. No emotion, like closing a deal. She launched in, desperate now. I've hit rock bottom. Job gone. Family won't speak to me. Friends ditched. Jake ruined everything. Exposed us, lied about me. But you get it. We had history. Real history. Forgive me? We can start over. I'll be better. Her words echoed her own twisted logic from the dinner. I mirrored it back, calm and firm. History, huh? You said that about Jake, how it excuses everything. But history doesn't rewrite betrayal. You chose him, humiliated me publicly, dismissed me like I was nothing. She flinched, tears welling. I was wrong. Please, Alex. I see now, you're the one I want. Stable, kind. I need that. I shook my head, focused on my growth. You needed excitement, remember? Called me insecure for not being fine with it. But I've built something better without you. New place, new opportunities, peace I didn't have before. You're irrelevant to that now. Powerless to pull me back. Her face crumpled, hypocrisy cracking. That's cold. After everything you threw away. I corrected, realist to the end. This chapter's closed. Enjoy the wedding. I walked away, rejoining the group. She lingered a moment, then left early, alone. No scene, but the reversal was clear, me thriving, her desperate shadow fading. Later, Tom pulled me aside. Heard she tried. Good on you for shutting it down. That night, reflecting, I felt complete. No lingering care for her well-being. She'd earned her isolation. I'd evolved, emotionally free, irrelevant to her drama. If there's an update, it's this. Life's good on the other side. Walk away with dignity, and the rest follows. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share it in the comments.